What's up guys, it's SneakySquid here doing the top 5 hardest bosses in Cuphead. Cuphead is the first and only game from Studio MDHR. It came out back in 2017 and gained a lot of popularity for its unique art style and challenging boss battles. The developers acknowledged the evident influence they had from classic cartoons and games such as Mega Man, Contra, and even Super Mario World. Cuphead is a run-and-gun platformer pitting brothers Cuphead and Mugman on a quest to pay off their gambling debt by collecting bounties of the other island dwellers down on their luck. Number 5. The Devil. The owner of the casino himself comes in at number 5. At this point in the game, you should be pretty prepared for anything they could throw at you would think, until he turns into a goat and double hoof punch you and takes up half the screen. For a final boss in a game that's been brutal, the Devil's not that tough of a fight compared to some of the others on this list. Phase 1 will take you a few tries to get used to it, but you should be able to dodge most of the moves and get through that phase almost untouched. Phase 2 is where it begins to feel like the final boss. You're on floating platforms that dodge your jumps from fiery poker chips falling from the sky. There's ads everywhere on the screen that you can't shoot because the Devil takes up the whole screen and will eat most of your shots. And then at the final phase, there's only one with falling poker chips that you now need to dodge while also not hitting his crying tears. If you can do all that, you'll manage to get the knockout. Number 4, Kayla Maria. This fight flirts with the balance between difficult and fair. She has an oceanic arsenal consisting of fireball spitting fish, bomb launching turtles, ghost pirate hiccups, electric eels turning her into Medusa, then joining in to spit at you. And this isn't even the part where it's unfair yet. Getting to the final phase is a challenge in and of itself, but once you get there you need to navigate a tiny little cavern while dodging everything that's out there and being turned to stone, while also, trying to shoot the boss that is always dodging you. Assuming your aviation gets you the knockout, buckle in, because that's not even the hardest plane fight. Number 3, Dr. Call's Robot. This is by far the hardest plane fight for me, easily dying over 20 times to this Dr. Wily wannabe. Phase 1 will have you targeting specific points on the robot. However, if you think that taking one out would stop that attack, you'd be sadly mistaken. It just does a separate attack, usually harder to dodge. You get a small breath of air in Phase 2, where his head just starts launching around. These little bombs can be a pest, but you should be able to handle this one without any trouble, because that's just setting you up for Phase 3, which is the absolute bullet hell of Cuphead. You need to dodge all these little diamond ricochets while also making sure you don't forget about the electric walls raising from either the bottom or the top of the screen. He doesn't have particularly a lot of health, but it's hard to survive. Number 2, Rumor Honeybottom. I had a hard time not putting Rumor as my number 1. The challenge here comes from a difficult boss on top of a vertically parallaxing level, making it extremely difficult to position yourself where you want. In Phase 1, you'll take out the security guard who's tossing around bombs that explode in predictable pattern while worker bees are traversing the screen. I found myself raging after dodging a move I saw but missing the platform and falling. Phase 2, Rumor will show up and split the screen in half. Then she'll start shooting bullet bills disguised as bees up the screen. This can be extremely difficult to dodge while making sure you land on a platform correctly. This resulted in me dying a lot in this phase. Next, she'll start summoning these little spheres that'll follow you around the screen. You can parry these, although it's easier said than done, and I had a lot of difficulty with this part as well. For the final phase, she'll summon at the bottom of the screen and turn into a plane. I found this part extremely difficult to use a gun that can hit her at the bottom of the screen. Spread shot will reach, but you need to stay close to her, and those hand saws are difficult, as well as the flying fist. And at this point of the fight, you probably are low on health, so any hit may be the end for you. Number 1, Grim Matchstick. Another boss that forces you to manage platform jumps through a moving level. Grim will be sure to humble your confidence every time you think you've got it down. Phase 1, he will shoot 3-round bursts of I-beams that can be parried and easily dodged. The tail whip and fireballs can be tough depending on platform placement at the time. In Phase 2, you will need to maintain platforming while shooting him on the left side of the screen now. A lethal marching band of fireballs will march across the screen, occasionally launching themselves at you in an inconsistent pattern. These bastards can be straight infuriating while you try to get to Phase 3. When you finally manage to get to the final phase, buckle up. Grim now has 3 heads spitting fireballs at you that will break into 4 sparks flinging in each direction. These can throw a huge wrench in your platforming between clouds as they are difficult to keep track of. On top of that, you'll have to watch out for his flamethrower move that'll take out the middle of the screen. Hopefully this knockout will provide you as much satisfaction as it does rage. And that's my top 5 hardest bosses in Cuphead. Hope you enjoyed.